Matt Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
Welcome to it. Thanks for being here. 888-900-3393. Also at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. Numbers going down nationwide on this virus. Mostly. Yeah, for the most part. There's a few exceptions. We'll get into that in just a second. First, let me tell you that today's show, sponsored by ExpressVPN. Don't let others track what you do, even if you don't think you're doing anything wrong. Keep yourself safe at expressvpn.com/unleashed. So, flattening the curve or doing more than that, that's actually happening in most states. Now, there's a couple of states, 3, where they've actually risen a bit, including Texas, where the easing of restrictions has happened. But are we going to panic about that? I'm not. Just keep going. I mean, you know, if we have another wave, if we have a second wave of this virus and the elites demand that we go back to the shutdown protocols, will Americans be doing that? Will we do that? Or will we say, nope, no thank you, been there, done that. We're not doing that again. We have to remember that they have to get the consent of the people. Okay, that's the way it works in the United States of America. So I think we're going to have to decide right now whether or not, if and when a second wave happens. And it might. You know, it probably will.
Yeah, and the numbers are going up in Texas, but we're also testing more
in
Texas, which I think accounts in large part.
Probably.
Texas was way behind as far as testing until the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
And our increases in positive cases are very nominal.
Yeah, it's not a big deal.
It's almost steady.
It's not like it's skyrocketed. And, you know, it might go up. And it might go up a lot in some places at some point. I don't know. If we start going back to big crowds of people getting together and going back to church and all of those things, the numbers are going to go up a little bit. So what we have to figure out is, all right, do we have to go back to quarantine? Do we have to go back to sheltering in place? The whole shutdown of the economy? We can't do that.
Yeah, and we also have the opportunity to build that herd immunity that we talk about.
Right. Which is critical for something like this. Critical.
It's like, you know, ripping the Band-Aid off the economy, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, at some point, you've just got to power through. Or as Steve Miller said, sometimes you got to go through hell before you get to heaven, right?
Yes.
Big old jet
airliner.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, so I'm just saying that, you know, we got to get through this. Mm-hmm. And we're not going to get through this by cowering in fear at home. Ozark
Mountain Daredevil said, if you want to get to heaven, you got to raise a little hell. Now, I'm not sure that's true, but that's what they said.
I mean, that's getting real philosophical.
Isn't it, though?
Yeah.
Yeah. So take that for whatever it's worth.
But I am starting to see around town COVID-19 testing site right here. I haven't seen those signs.
Really?
I haven't seen them to the last week or so.
I don't think I've still seen any. So you can just go in and get tested if you want
to? I guess. I haven't pulled in.
Or do you have to have symptoms? I wonder. I don't have... I can't taste things very well. And I have a cough.
Yeah.
And I don't feel good.
Oh, no. Wow. Should you go home?
That's about 360 days out of the year.
I know. Rob says they have drive-through testing out where he lives.
Oh, wow.
So... see, it's starting to pop up, and so by having it more available,
you're going to see
you're going to test positive.
For sure.
And let's not forget about the antibodies that we've probably had for months.
That's what I want to test on. I want to see if I have antibodies. That would be interesting. If you've got antibodies from this thing and you didn't even know it, wouldn't you? That'd be great.
Yeah.
I'd love that.
And that's where you go, aha. Ha! When I was dragging in early February, now it explains it.
When everybody panicked, when I left home in the middle of one show, they were right to do that. That's what I would think about.
I see. Good times.
Yeah, good times. So let's see. We got some tweets here from, is there a number we can call Tobin? Instead of Ivan. See, they've adopted this.
I called up Cardinal Tobin. Cardinal Joe Tobin in Newark.
Yeah, in Newark, yeah. Anyway, maybe a foreigner wrote a song about climate change. They'd get into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. At this rate, Greta will get in before them. Yes.
Oh, yeah, because she did that video with Pearl Jam.
Right.
Are they in the Rock Hall of Fame?
I believe they are, yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah, we should look up.
2017.
Yes?
Well, yeah, 2017 Rock Hall inductee. Yeah, 2017.
Crazy. Pearl Jam over foreigner. Come on now. Come on. From Avery. It always gets me when people say, how do you open the country back up? The answer is, you just do.
You just do.
In that case, that's true. That one really is. You just do.
Just do it.
I mean, we just did it they just did in Georgia. Look how well that's worked. Their numbers aren't spiking. They're going down. And they did a lot more than other places. They went right to, tattoo parlors, beauty salons.
That's my home state, baby.
I'm not sure if did they do like spas and gyms? I'm not sure about that.
Yeah, I think those were on a delay.
But I noticed that gyms are opened back up here in Texas. So
yeah,
that's a big deal.
But, talking about Georgia, that Governor Stacey Abrams doing a heck of a job, right?
Yeah, she's not the governor.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, somebody should tell her that.
I thought she won.
Stacey, you're not. No, you didn't win.
Really?
Puddin', you did not win. You're not the governor.
Okay.
Of this state or any other state for that matter.
I'm gonna have to fact check that.
Yeah, go ahead and fact check it.
Okay.
I could be completely
not what
wrong,
I heard.
but I'm pretty sure the name is Kemp, Governor Kemp. From Jonathan Brown. This is posted at a gas station in my local small town of Kentucky. Thought you guys might get a kick out of it. And written in big letters, there it is right there. No face masks allowed in store.
Nice.
Lower your mask or go somewhere else. Stop listening to Bashir. He's a dumbass. I love that.
That's America, baby.
That's great. That is great.
That's good stuff, Kentucky. Keep it up.
It makes you wonder, how did you guys seriously get duped into voting for this guy? This Bashir, Andy Bashir? Come on. You had Matt Bevin. Now, we talked to a person who listens to the show all the time who didn't like Bevin a few weeks ago. And I was really kind of surprised because I like Bevin, and I didn't follow super closely everything he did as governor, but...
I bet you like Matt Bevin now, don't you?
Yeah, how much you miss him now. Spunky Trucker.
Oh, this is good. He and his daughter made some masks.
Did they?
Yeah.
New masks.
New masks.
Okay.
And
we have...
Look at that.
There it is.
My governor is an idiot, and this mask is useless.
Is it which governor are we talking about?
That's a great
here?
question.
Is that Kentucky too?
I'm gonna just say it could be Kentucky, Michigan.
Oh yeah, New York.
Yeah.
Could be a lot of different places.
Trucker, where do you live? I'll find out and get back to you here.
All right. Also, NFL. The NFL is testing some protective new masks.
Michigan, by the way.
Okay. They're right about that, by the way.
Whitmer.
She is ridiculous. NFL's testing new protective face masks with surgical or N95 material. I guess that their players would wear during the game. In addition to all the equipment they're wearing, I wouldn't wear a face mask. No way. First of all, it's hard enough to breathe when you're just sitting somewhere at a desk working, let alone trying to play a game in the NFL.
Yeah, maybe
you imagine
pull
that?
These masks out in December in Green Bay or Chicago, Then I'm wearing your mask.
But I'm not wearing this mask in September when it's hot and humid.
Can you imagine?
No,
in
thank
Miami,
you.
playing football, running around with this thing on your face?
Nope.
I don't think so.
Not doing it. NFL engineers and sports equipment company Oakley are testing prototypes of modified face masks that might contain surgical or N95 material, according to the NFL Players Association. The Adam Schefter podcast, Coronavirus Speaking. So Adam Schefter has a coronavirus speaking podcast on Mondays.
It can't be.
Stop it.
Hang on. I'll find this out.
That's what it says here in this story.
Well, we've talked about.
He's an NFL reporter. He's doing the coronavirus stuff.
I don't know.
Yeah, jeez. Tom Mayer said there will probably be a recommendation that the NFL use such masks to protect players from when the league returns to play. Mayer said he isn't sure exactly how the modifications would work, but he acknowledged that it's realistic to think the new designs could cover a player's entire face and that the engineers are working on everything such a design might entail. Wow. No thanks. Then I also saw one of the NFL representatives say, we will have players that get COVID-19. Yes, you will. Yes, if you go back to the season, you're going to have. So what you have to decide then is, are you going to completely panic and shut down the league if 2 or 3 players get it? Or are you going to quarantine them and move on? I hope they quarantine them and move on.
Yeah. I think that was just an episode of his podcast that he did where he talked about COVID-19's effects on the NFL.
All right.
That's helpful.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. So did you want to do that? Because that's one of those videos that you have in your hands that, you know how like when like we have a Maxine Waters or something, you're like, I can only stand this one time, right? If it's a crazy leftist political thing.
Yeah.
This, I think, has the same effect.
Oh, is this the thing where it's automatic? You push a button and the mask comes
inventor,
down?
This is how we're going to be eating
let's
food
see
in
this.
the future.
All right. Eating with a mask on.
It closes because he's got a remote control that he's pushing a button, and it opens.
That's just stupid.
It opens his stupid mask for him so he can eat.
The mask will be opened mechanically by hand remote or automatically when the fork is coming.
Wait a minute.
So it's got a sensor on it?
Oh, nice.
Enjoy. Drink, and you take out the fork, and it will be
fork.
closed.
What?
And it'll be closed.
Protected against other people sitting.
Look at this guy. And he's eating in his pajamas, I'd like to point out.
Wait, go back. Did you see what that particular sentence said? Go back to go back like 10 seconds.
No. It's gonna.
Food can be gobbled up. Okay?
Hold on.
All right?
Hold on a second.
Solid food can be gobbled up. Smart Alex.
Wait, I love it. I love it.
All right. Exonerated once again. Don't test me.
This is funny.
Don't test
me. Because Sabes84 yesterday tweeted out, because I guess in your Rough Greens commercial, you said that your dog voraciously eats. And he's like, voraciously eats is the new gobble up.
Yes.
Touche, Pat. But I like how you took that away from that video.
Yeah, that's what I get out of that video. Gobbled up. Okay, I don't care about the rest of it. My mask opens automatically or it shuts down completely. I don't care. But it's gobbled up. Okay? Food is gobbled up.
This guy.
What a dumb invention that is.
This guy is an inventor who should take the money and run. People are going to go, that's so funny. I'm going to buy it and show my friends.
What would that cost you to put a motion sensor into a mask so that it opens up every time your fork is coming at it? That's amazing. Come on.
I'm going to find out.
Come on now.
I don't know if the whole thing... Well, let's see here. Hold on. Found the article. Let me see here if it just says real quick. What? No way.
What? How much? Did you find it?
85 cents to $2.85 a mask.
What? Really?
I think those are the ones that you hand
with the sensor.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say.
That's pretty good. That's not bad, actually.
No.
I'm still not buying it, but that's better than I thought it'd be.
I'm gonna buy it just to screw around with my kids.
It would be a novelty item.
Yeah, exactly.
To
That's
show
what
people.
I'm saying.
Yeah, it might be kind of fun.
Wow.
All right, 888-900-3393. Let me take 60 seconds and tell you about Omega XL. If you have inflammation that causes you pain in your back and your neck, your shoulders, leg pain, any kind of joints, your elbow, that's what I've had lately, then inflammation is likely the cause. And that's where Omega XL comes in. Because it's not hard on your liver, your kidneys. It's all natural. It's backed by 30 years of research. It's a powerful natural supplement that helps reduce pain due to inflammation, promotes healthy joints, increased mobility. There's nothing like this in the world. It's really awesome. Right now, staying healthy is on everybody's mind, and taking Omega XL can actually help promote a healthy immune response as well. So there's all kinds of benefits to this. Omega XL can help your natural immune system protect you. And here's a special offer to get you started. If you order one bottle now, you'll get your second bottle free, essentially half off. For more information, visit omegaxl.com/Pat or call 800-844-4888. omegaxl.com/Pat.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
Yeah. 888-900-3393. Then we have the hydroxychloroquine debate, which is raging all over again because the president admitted the other day that he's taking it. Now, why do people have any problem with him taking it if he wants to? Isn't that his deal? It's his choice.
Exactly.
What are you all pissed off about this for? He's not telling you to take it. You don't have to take it just because the president did.
And if he's not your president, right, and you don't listen to him, then what do you care what he says about it?
Why would you even be bothered by this at all? But they're all up in arms over it. How dare he take this unproven drug? Well, first of all, he's been taking it for weeks, and he's obviously fine. Contrary to what Morning Postum Joe says. You see Scarborough said, he's not taking it. I guarantee you. Trust me, he's not taking it.
What is that?
Well, who are you? You don't have any idea what he's doing. Piers Morgan, also all pissed off that he's taking it. Piers Morgan was a huge ally of President Trump until fairly recently, like the last month and a half during this COVID thing. But Morgan wrote, I don't know how many yet or who they are or when they'll die, but the one absolute certainty from this public boast, meaning the president taking hydroxychloroquine, that he's taking hydroxychloroquine is it will cost lives. What? What have you... Just, that's asinine. Some people will now take it who shouldn't. First of all, you got to have a doctor's prescription to get this. You got to go through a doctor to get hydroxychloroquine. You're not just going to go and pick it up off the counter. It's not an over-the-counter medication.
And
so you're going to have a prescription to get it, and that comes through a doctor.
And those people are individuals, too, making their own decisions as well.
Right. Jeez. And some people won't be able to take it who should. Well, that's not true either. There's been no shortage of hydroxychloroquine. When Trump previously touted the benefits of using disinfectant in the body, I ripped into him for spreading bat crap crazy ideas. It's not exactly the word he used. For a cure during a global pandemic and told him to shut the F up. Okay, and he didn't follow your directions, Piers? I'm really surprised. It wasn't nice language then, but this isn't a very nice situation, is it? More than 90,000 people in America have now died from coronavirus, by far the worst death toll in the world. Yeah, if you believe China, which I don't. Each one of those people left a family mourning the loss of a grandparent, parent, sibling, or child. And by the way, of course the United States, other than China, is going to have more deaths. We've got more people. We don't have the most deaths per capita. Anyway, that's a side little tidbit
Stop
there.
with the facts, man.
Yeah.
Would you stop?
Trump responded to my critique by unfollowing me on Twitter, canceling his chaotic, self-aggrandizing daily news briefings, and avoiding spewing more insane cures. So he didn't like my advice, but he appeared to take it. Oh, get over yourself, Piers. Get out of here.
I thought it was bad enough that he wanted to pat himself on the back for I previously told the president to shove it. I mean, now he's doing this?
That's just nuts. And you talk about bipolar. Jeez. I mean, he was in love with President Trump up until 8 weeks ago. Now all of a sudden he can't stand him and he's telling him to shut the F up all the time and taking credit for his changes in his policy? No. Speaking at the White House during an event with restaurant workers, he suddenly announced to the media that he's been taking hydroxychloroquine for the past fortnight. Stop with your British nonsense. A fortnight. For the last fortnight. Shut up.
I was upset with that article. as it was before you got to that. Now that's the worst part of it right there.
Now it's not even worth reading anymore. I'm not even going to read the rest of it. It's so stupid.
Hold on. Read that sentence again in a British accent about the fortnight of swords.
I've already closed it.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, that's
stupid. Come on.
It's worth it. I'm finding it. I don't care.
Also, customers at a German cafe are wearing hats with pool noodles now to enforce social distancing. Okay. I'm sorry. Do we have 1 ounce of dignity left in our bodies?
No, we don't.
1 freaking ounce of dignity.
We don't, man.
Give me the virus before I wear a pool noodle on my head.
I'm with you, man.
I'm not doing that.
Give me 2 weeks of isolation in Chris Cuomo's basement before I wear a pool noodle.
I'm not wearing a pool noodle. I'm not doing it.
I can't.
Look at that. That is. Keep showing that. That is unbelievable. Why would you do that? I mean,
it's not that coffee or whatever they're having there, the wine. It's not worth.
And again, this isn't Babylon B with some sort of, some.
That's a great point.
Pretend some parody of a news story. It is real life. Germans sitting out in a cafe wearing pool noodles.
Seriously, if we were, if you had a chart and it was reality and the Babylon B, the gap between where they are or where they were and where we were, that has just closed.
Oh, it's completely closed now. It really is.
Living parody.
Dumbest thing. Between that and the inner tubes in Maryland.
You got the inner tubes in Ocean City, Maryland.
To be really safe, you need an inner tube and a pool noodle. And then, you just take that everywhere you go.
That. I mean,
I'd like to see you get in the car with that. Get in the car with that on.
Come on, honey. Oh, we're going out to eat. I can see because Daddy just loaded up the inner tubes.
Oh my gosh!
I mean, seriously, it's a toddler.
It's real.
It's a toddler with one of those little high chair thingies that they roll around in.
Does that not look like a parody site, like a parody thing that somebody or SNL did?
Yeah. Yeah, and now you've got some sort of like restaurant innovation.
Oh, yeah.
How we're going to eat in the future.
Suspended body visors that will keep you social and socially distant. There it is. There it is. Okay.
Boy, she looks happy.
Yeah, doesn't she?
She's eating alone, by the way. I don't think you need your little sneeze guard. If you're listening to the podcast, this woman is sitting at a table, and she's surrounded about 80% around with a plastic... A sneeze guard, effectively.
Yeah, it's like a sneeze guard that you'd see at a buffet.
It's encompassing her.
Bar.
It's almost like a very large wine glass is now on top of her, and she's underneath it. This is
ludicrous.
We are in serious trouble, y'all.
Wow. And the story is we're all itching to go back to restaurants or maybe just work with friends in a cafe. For many of us, takeout was part of everyday life, and people would look forward to fine dining dates. But to celebrate occasions or simply on the weekend, designers and leaders are working on innovative solutions that can help us get back to our routine lives faster while still practicing social distancing.
Yeah, work harder.
And that's what they came up with.
To get back, I don't want to get back to that.
No, I'm not doing that. I'm
telling you, man, we're right there. This is dangerous time. If you liked your quality of life in 2019, you're gonna have to fight to get it back, right down to how you're gonna sit at a restaurant now.
True. Yeah. And you're gonna probably have to wear a pool noodle on your head in order to go outside. So deal with that.
I can't.
Oh man, it's just so absurd. I can't even believe it's reality. I can't even believe it. Jeez. Then we've got this little gem as well during the whole COVID-19 thing. $2.19 coronavirus surcharge.
Oh, gosh.
Has been spotted in a receipt at a restaurant in Missouri. And that started somewhat of a backlash.
Why?
As you can imagine. A lot of people didn't want to pay it. They didn't want to pay the surcharge. But the restaurateur who operates the establishment says he's only trying to make ends meet. Billy Uzar previously told Fox News that he decided to add the surcharge to offset the rising costs of food from his suppliers instead of raising menu prices across the board. With no explanation as to why, he also said that this was just one of many restaurants in his West Plains town, all of whom used the same suppliers. He's the first to institute the charge. He hasn't heard any complaints from customers either.
That's because no one looked at the receipt, man.
Yeah. Had they? Okay. Well, instead of the tip, then here's your surcharge.
Yeah.
$2.19. Sorry, but I'm not paying your surcharge. Well, if I have to, then I'm going to cut back somewhere else.
Take it up with your manager, waiter.
Right.
And this is what they did with the fuel surcharge. I got news for you. A gallon of gas has gone through the floor, but so many businesses still have that fuel surcharge. I just got one a few weeks ago for a delivery. And what else is it? And remember how they added that to the pizza guys, right? You never got that back.
Right.
Oh, we got to pay for the rising cost of gas. Oh, yeah? Well, are you going to, it's like a toll road. You're going to take it off once it's paid for?
And of course, the answer to that is no. Never has that ever happened. Well, maybe once or twice, but I know in Houston, the Beltway there they were supposed to take off all the toll booths after it was paid for. It was paid for in like 1989 or something. And the toll booths are still there. What year is it? Is it 89 yet? Maybe it's not 89
Boy,
yet.
I wish it were.
Jeez. Remember how simple life was in 1989?
I sure do. Boy, we didn't even know who Hillary Clinton was at that point.
Nope. Never heard of Bill or Hillary
Let's go back.
At that time.
2020 sucks.
Jeez.
Oh, boy.
We did know Joe Biden back then, and sadly we still see him way too much. But this is great. Here's your 2020 ticket. According to Come On, Charles. He tweeted out this little gem. There's yesterday we had that photo of Stacey Abrams.
Oh, the supermodel.
Yeah, the supermodel, the runway model. And today we've added Joe Biden behind her because they're going to be the presidential ticket. And he's behind her sniffing her hair. There we go. That's brilliant.
That is so good.
And they're silhouetted, so that makes it even creepier, doesn't it?
Seriously, whoever he picks, if he wins, that person could be just a heartbeat away from
Yes. Oh, yeah. I think it's almost a certainty that first person that vice presidential person becomes president of the United States during his first term.
Yeah, I think it's...
I don't see how that's avoidable at this point.
I'd take that bet.
Based on how often he screws up and that how often he shows us that he's not competent anymore to do this. You got to believe.
I mean, scandals, health.
Right.
Any myriad of ways.
Right. The whole Ukraine situation where he demanded that the attorney general be replaced in the Ukraine. We have the actual audio now, the actual phone call with the Ukrainian official that is just amazing. You talk about quid pro quo. It's absolutely what he did. No Democrats care. We'll play that coming up here in a minute, in fact, because even though we all know what happened, it's really something when you actually hear it.
Yeah.
Happen.
It's not enough for him to just openly admit it.
Right.
That wasn't enough.
But we've heard him brag about it after the fact. This is the actual conversation he had that shows you the quid pro quo there. Amazing. 888-900-3393. More Pat Gray Unleashed coming up. Oh, and Jeffy will chew the fat. Next. We have Jeffy coming up to chew the fat in just a second. First, some tweets from JC. If graduation can be done inside a gym, or it can't be done inside a gym or outside on a football field, perhaps the grads could walk through Walmart, Lowe's, or Home Depot and be announced over the speaker.
Yeah, that makes no sense.
A great idea. Attention, Walmart shoppers. 20% off all produce right now. And now coming down the frozen food aisle, your 2020 grads. Julie Anderson, Mike Angler, and so on and so forth. Yeah, I like it. I like it. I think we can
that
work
makes
that
no
out.
sense. We can't go to a gym, but we could go to Lowe's.
It's so weird.
Let's think
None
this
of it makes
through.
any sense.
It doesn't.
Just doesn't make sense. Constitutional snoobage. The COVID symptoms are a slight cough, loss of smell. Sounds like this virus is turning everyone into a smoker. Jeffy, thoughts? Jeffy? Yeah, we'll get his thoughts in a second here. Texas Lori D tweets, I've been out working for Instacart every day for the last 3 weeks. Not one cashier I've talked to. And I asked them all, knows anyone that's been sick at work or in their families. This is crap.
There you go.
Okay. By the way, speaking of Jeffy, it is time to chew the fat now with Jeff Fisher, who continues to, what is this, day 69 of your quarantine?
Something like that. Yeah, something like that. We're still officially in lockdown. Great. I don't have my pool noodles on.
Well, then how are you going to know you're not infecting all the people around you?
I guess I am. That mask is one of the dumbest things I've ever seen. The mask
that opens up in your mouth.
It doesn't even close tight. Even in the promotion, he's talking about it. It doesn't even close tight.
I know. It's
ridiculous.
We've lost our collective mind. We really have.
Definitely has. Well, so it's official. My wife is a grandmother again. So I just
congratulations. Tell her congratulations for us. Of course, you are far too young to be a grandfather, right? That's what we're alleging here.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
It's not a grandfather. Yes.
So Elvis's wife had another child?
It's another baby, Everly Rose Ardella. Yeah, number 2.
They're really moving along, aren't they?
I know. I don't know. I don't know how many more they're going to have. I think he's just waiting for that boy.
Okay.
Oh, look at that.
That's going to happen.
She is.
I don't know that the boy is going to happen. So,
so just for the record, publicly now, you're not claiming that beautiful child that we see on the screen?
I am. I'm claiming it. It's my wife's granddaughter. I don't know why it's such a hard to grasp. Last week, I mentioned the Taylor Swift concert on ABC and the Taylor Swift City of Lover concert, which I'm sure you watched Sunday night. Being the Swifties that I thought you were. If you did miss it, though, I mean, it is available on Disney and Hulu. And the ratings were, it was the time slot's #1 network program. That's how good the ratings were.
Wow.
So I know.
Meaning how many people watched? I mean, not many people are watching network television, I think is what we're saying.
Well,
right?
it had the American Idol lead in, and the audience dropped by almost half. I mean, American Idol had 7.25 million. And Taylor had 3.63. I mean,
wow. Yeah, that's almost exactly half.
And The Last Dance, ESPN #1 show, Sunday night.
How many people watched that?
The final episode. I did not see any numbers for that. But just know that Taylor beat out NBC and CBS.
But not ESPN.
But not ESPN.
So have you seen all of The Last Dance? Or
no, not yet.
Okay.
Not.
Have you seen any of it? Not any of it?
No.
Oh, wow.
I'll get to it.
Should watch it. It's interesting.
Yeah, I'll get to it.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Thank you. Is there a number? Yes, it's called ESPN.
Yes.
I am still kind of worried about Taylor, though. I mean, times seem to be getting tough for her. She had to sell her Dassault Falcon 50 jet that she bought back in 2012. So I don't know how bad times are getting, but I'm trying not to feel bad for her because she still has her Falcon 900, of course. Wait,
she had 2 private planes?
That's correct, and she had to dump one.
Wow!
And now she's got the one that features, the Lucky 13 on the front. So we probably can wait to start the GoFundMe page.
Do you know how expensive those are to maintain? I mean, the original purchase of 40 or 50 million or whatever you pay for those, and it's probably more than that.
Let me check my receipt. I'll get back to you on that total.
I mean, that is just the beginning. Then you pay all the fuel charges, all the maintenance fees. It's like that's
I know. Plus, don't forget you have
a couple
to have
million
pilots.
A year just to maintain it.
Yeah, you have to have pilots on
you
standby.
got to pay
ready to
them.
go.
Yes, that's crazy.
So,
wow.
Look, I think I believe the pandemic has touched everyone. Now,
have you set up a GoFundMe page for Taylor?
No,
yet?
I think we can wait. She's down to one jet. I think we can probably wait on the GoFundMe.
All right, if you're sure, because I'm a little worried now about her.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I'm worried.
And yesterday you mentioned on the show how we are about to enter a solar minimum.
Yeah.
The year without a summer, the Dalton minimum.
Yes.
Where temperatures dropped and crops failed and people around the world starved and died from the cold.
Mm-hmm.
But then I see a new study that's warned about the potentially fatal combinations from what's called the wet bulb temperatures.
Yeah.
And they claim that these wet bulb temperatures have already arrived. We're getting heat indexes of 160 degrees Fahrenheit, which, is considered the theoretical survivability limit. So which is it? Are we freezing or are we burning?
Right.
I'm not sure what we're...
And that was the other thing, is you're talking about the solar minimum. CNN had an article come out last night that said, solar minimum could lead to an ice age, but it won't because of global warming. Well, then you're welcome. I'm glad we could fix that from happening.
Right.
It's madness,
Without
man.
the ocean, the earth would burn.
Okay, 200 degrees hotter.
Right.
Oh, well, good thing the earth works the way it does then, huh?
It's just incredible. Maybe we're just doomed. I don't know. We're putting pool tubes on our head.
I know.
I know.
Here's another interesting fact. Without gravity, humankind would float right off the planet and die in space. Wow.
Really?
So, good thing there's gravity.
If the Earth wasn't the Earth, we would fly.
We'd all be dead. It's a weird situation we find ourselves in.
We found out that we know where the aliens land and take off here on the Earth now.
Oh.
Scott Waring, who has his YouTube channel, ET Database, and his, he has another sister project, the UFO Sightings Daily. On May 13th, he discovered the mysterious underground base on a secluded island in Indonesia. Now, he added the contrast to, help give greater detail, of course. And he found an entrance to an underground base on a secluded island in that Indonesia. The doorway can easily be seen. You can see it right there on Google Map, just with his added contrast to the screenshot, of course. And it's totally unnatural. That, according to our man, is an alien entrance to the underground base right there. So there you have it. Now, others have commented that the entrance is specifically for interstellar ships.
Okay.
It's well known that reptiloids, the original species of our planet, use cigar-shaped ships or cylindrical-shaped ships, and right there you have the entrance. It's clearly for their ships.
Oh, okay. Or it's an entrance for a CD. Might just be a CD slot.
It looks like a
That's where you put your Boston CD right there. Just slide it right on in. It sucks it right up.
And when there's an earthquake, that's when the music skips?
Yes. Yes.
I wouldn't believe that. It couldn't be a secret military base.
No.
It's just a hole in the earth. It's possible.
Okay.
So I'm excited for Friday, too, so we can see what kind of dirt shows up from the attorney Alan Grubman files that were hacked. He and his firm, he's one of the most prominent entertainment attorneys in the world. His firm represent, Elton and Lady Gaga, Madonna, Mariah Carey, Springsteen, Bette Midler, all the, huge stars. Wow. They hacked his firm, they said, we'll give you your files for $21 million.
Yep.
Then last Friday, they said, you know what? Wait, we'll give you another week, but we're going to add another $21 million to the deal. So you're going to owe us $42 million. And we have a new twist. They claim that they have info on Trump. They said that the next person we'll be publishing is Donald Trump, The group, according to reports, there's an election race going on, and we found a ton of dirty laundry on time. And to you voters, we can let you know that after such a publication, you certainly don't want to see him as president. That doesn't sound like an American writing that.
No. Got it on time. An election. What was it?
Like a guy that sends me emails from time to time. But the firm says no way they pay. They could release the files anyway. We're not paying. Trump has never been a current or former client. They've been cooperating with enforcement officials, including the FBI, to resolve the breach. And the FBI said that negotiating with or paying ransom to terrorists is a violation of federal criminal law. So the group, they've been at it for a while. They use the ransomware called Revile or Reveal. It's they're modern day pirates. It's spelled REVIL. It could just be R-evil. But
hey.
They stole 756 gigabytes of data.
Oh, that's massive.
I have to tell you how much that
756 gigabytes? That's all they have? What? Okay, this is really frightening now. Give them the 42 million. Give them the money.
I mean, they have contracts and emails and non-disclosure agreements. It'd be kind of fun to go through them.
Yeah.
It worked for them before. They went up against that Travelex in London. They asked for $6 million. Travelex gave them $2.3 million, and they finally turned their services back on. So, I mean, it's worked for them before.
Wow.
I know. I would like to see a little bit of what they have.
Yeah.
And we can always talk a little bit of fashion in this pandemic. I mean, one should not be without fashion, no matter what the occasion. I mean, I'm fashion, clear. What's the chuckle for?
No, it's.
Oh no, we were laughing at a joke we just remembered.
Yeah.
Someone told us earlier.
A company, Caneva, which describes itself as a profit-for-purpose brand, has released a line of limited edition underpants featuring the names of Governors Andrew Cuomo, Gavin Newsom, as well as Dr. Fauci, and just the NYC logo. So you got the Fauci bikini briefs, the Cuomo lower cut undies, the Newsom hipster briefs. So when you buy any of these limited edition products, they're going to be matching dollar for dollar your purchase with an equal product donation to healthcare workers in NYC. So how lucky are the health workers in NYC? You buy one of those, they're going to send you a pair of Fauci's. Man, that's a good deal right there. And if that is enough fashion during our time together apart, this is like a Chewing the Fat fashion show. Just another reason to subscribe to the podcast, Chewing the Fat. Get it. You know what?
Where?
Today's the day to check it off your bucket list. Subscribe to Chewing the Fat. Just get it off that bucket list right now. Okay. We have Dame Vivienne Westwood, the 79-year-old British fashion designer, who took to her Instagram last week to share a series of posts about saving the planet. And one was naturel for Mother Nature. I mean, not all natural. She was wearing a metallic leaf from the waist down. But, I mean, that's good for the earth.
Oh, my.
Good for the earth.
Close the door.
Take it off the screen.
No.
Jeez.
Put it on. Put it on.
Ugh.
One more fashion statement for the partier. This is better than the mask or the pool tubes. This is for the party of the rave attenders, a new high-tech rave suit out of Los Angeles from Production Club, the Micro Shell Future Suit. It's a safety on the dance floor while raving. It features compatibility with vaping, a subwoofer sound system. You can socialize. It's got a camera, a cell pouch. I mean, it's an offshoot of a hazmat suit. It contains 2 lithium-ion cell battery systems for uninterrupted active operation, and our easy charge and swap when discharged. The 18650 type batteries, you can probably just pick those up at Sam's or Lowe's.
Wouldn't that be fun to dance in? Wouldn't that be great?
It would. No word on what the cost is, though. They're trying to keep the cost as low as possible, and I'm guessing the cost is going to be a little bit more than you and I want to pay. So they are, they're throwing the business model out there for venues or promoters to own the suits and then rent them out on a per show basis.
Even more tempting that somebody else has been wearing this suit and now I can have it on. That'd be great.
So much for the fat guy sizes. Whenever they start doing that, you are not getting fat guy sizes. One size fits all.
I mean, seriously, there's going to be some innovations, inventions that come out of this crisis. I don't think that company's going to make it.
I don't know. It looked kind of cool. I mean, it looked like it'd be worth, it'd be worth a party to be in the rave suit, wouldn't it?
No.
And what?
No.
And we also got some bad news too. Is I don't know where you're going to get your wicker chairs or your scented candles anymore, but Pier 1 imports closing permanently.
What? Really?
But yeah, and they're based right here in Texas. They filed for bankruptcy earlier in the year, but due to the coronavirus, I mean that's just another company. JCPenney, Neiman Marcus, J. Crew, and now Pier 1 gone. Goodbye.
They must have been struggling before, right?
Right. Well, yeah, they did that. They filed for bankruptcy. I don't know, first of the year or the end of last year.
Yeah. And so they're just out of business now, completely out of business.
Looking to restructure and sell. They couldn't find anybody to buy it. I mean, obviously, who's buying Pier 1 right now? Mm-hmm. And they're just okay. We're done. Have a nice day.
Wow.
I know. Sad.
Yeah.
And that's going to happen to a lot of businesses around the country.
Afraid so. Yeah. Yep.
Bad. Very bad. All right, let's tune the fat. Thank you.
All right.
Appreciate it.
No. And I mean this. Thank you.
So how you
doing?
I
want to thank everyone for I kept getting messages. Get a green screen. Get a green screen. So I got a green screen. You happy?
Not really. What's the green screen for? What are you going to put behind you? Are you going to do something with it?
You know how those work.
I got a green. Everybody kept telling me, get a green screen. So
no, I don't think that's what they're. That's not how it works.
No,
you need to put. Forget it.
It's for like technology.
No, let it go, man. He doesn't
put something in the background there.
We're not going to rescue him from this one.
Yeah, I did put something in the background.
The green screen. Yeah. Okay. All right. 888-900-3393. More Pat Gray Unleashed coming up. Thanks for being here with us. 888-900-3393. Also at Pat Unleashed on Twitter, where NASA Dwarfnaut commenting on that remote control or that mask that opens up. It's got like a sensor in it, so when a fork is coming, the mask opens up automatically, so you can wear your mask while you're eating food. Really handy.
Stupid.
Oh, you think it's stupid?
I do.
I thought it was handy.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, I'm in the minority here. It's not the first time.
NASA Dwarfnaut tweets, I'm not cutting my large burger into dainty pieces to eat through that piece of crap.
Right.
I'll starve before I look that stupid. Ridiculous. It is ridiculous.
It doesn't even close.
No, it doesn't even close. That's incredible that we're supposed to believe that we'll be safer with that.
Yeah, and you're not.
No, baby.
Dr. Diver 63, all the people coming up with that noodle hat, the tire table, and the upside down wine glass used to be all the people claiming there are 100 genders. Yes, those are the same people.
Yeah.
They got something else to distract them with now.
Same people. Tricia Sanders, the only time wearing a pool noodle on your head is acceptable is when sitting by the pool and about 3 beers deep.
That's a good point.
From the Pickled Squirrel, wearing pool noodles on your head as a means of keeping others away from you. It's a new method of sterilizing a population. Who knew? Right, because if you're wearing a pool noodle, nobody's procreating with you. No one. Constitution Warrior. Pennsylvania has a mandated mask order. Yesterday, I go to the DMV to get a new photo license. I was required to sit in my car until it was my turn. While in the building, I had to be masked. When it came to my photo, they forced me to take the mask off completely. Well, of course they did. It all makes perfect sense, doesn't it?
So weird.
B. de Bodine, my theory is the slot in the island is... Oh, okay, this is the conspiracy theory that aliens are coming into some underground chamber right there through that slot.
Conspiracy theory.
No, right. I mean, I meant the new proof that aliens have an underground fortress.
That's interesting that they... Go ahead, what?
No, it was just that... I'm gonna be sorry I said this, but there could be a hole in the earth where a tree once was. And,
Is somebody making money? Or
yeah, right through that slot.
Yeah.
They're putting a quarter, right?
Huh. From B to Bodine, my theory is the slot in the island is a coin slot, and when you insert the coin, the island rocks up and down like a mechanical horse, but it won't capsize.
Yeah, interesting that the aliens chose they could land anywhere on the planet and build their base. They chose the most Muslim-populated nation of Indonesia. That's interesting. That's a fun fact for you there.
Is there a number people can call about that, Ivan? Or
right there.
Or what?
Anytime.
Mm-hmm. Okay. 888-900-3393. Let me tell you about Rough Green's Vitus Smart. Because dry dog food has to be sterilized when it's manufactured so that it lasts a really long time on the store shelves. And so everything good in there, everything that was live is killed. It's murdered. Murderers, these dog manufacturers. So there's a way around that, though, and it's Rough Green's Vitus Smart. First of all, it's not dog food. It's a healthy supplement that puts back into your dog's food, all the good stuff they need, the live nutrients, the things that are going to make them frisky and puppy-like again. And it's really amazing how much they love this stuff. You just take a scoop, sprinkle it, mix it in with your dog's food, and they're going to love it. If you don't believe me, take the Rough Greens 14-day Jumpstart Challenge. It's just $14.95, and you'll see the difference in your dog in a fortnight.
You hear that, Piers Morgan?
You got that, Piers?
So your dog will begin to voraciously eat?
Yes.
And they will gobble
in a fortnight. Yeah, it won't take long, just
down.
like the 14 days. Okay? If you want to see your dog thrive again, just go to roughgreens.com/blaze. That's RUFF greens.com/blaze.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.
All right, let's go to Jacob in Florida. Hey, Jacob, you're on the Blaze.
Hey, yeah.
Hey.
So I was listening to the podcast yesterday because I'm normally a podcast listener, and I just wanted to put on my own scenario with Joe Biden and his running mate.
Okay.
Now, for this scenario, you just have to have two assumptions. That first off, Joe Biden is going senile, which it's pretty clear that he is, and they actually made it to the White House.
Mm-hmm.
But you have Joe Biden and Kamala Harris ticket, and just think, if he's senile, he might get back into the White House and assume he's vice president. Go around calling Kamala Harris Michelle Obama and say, hey, go tell your husband that we should do this. Mm-hmm. And she is in the background running the country.
You put some serious thought into that. That's great. Thanks, Thanks, Jacob.
That's fun.
All right, 888-900-3393. Speaking of Joe, we all know about his deal with Ukraine and what he forced them to do with their attorney general, because the attorney general that was there was investigating his son. Now, I mean, I'm sure there's no connection between Biden wanting that attorney general gone and his son's activity in Ukraine. There's just a wild coincidence, I'm sure. But we've never actually heard the phone call that proves everything that's being said. Listen to this, and you tell me about quid pro quo.
But congratulations on installing the new prosecutor general. It's going to be critical for him to work quickly to repair the damage Shokin did. And I'm a man of my word. And that now that the new prosecutor general's in place, we're ready to move forward in signing that new $1 billion loan guarantee.
Oh.
And I don't know how you want to go about that. I'm not going to be able to get to Kyiv anytime soon.
What? Okay, so
where's it going?
There's a couple of things there. Yes, there's quid pro quo. We want you to fire your prosecuting attorney general. But I'm not going to be able to get to Kyiv.
I mean,
can we stop with the Kyiv thing?
That's the bigger crime here, right?
Yes, it is. He should be put into prison just for the Kyiv thing. It's Kiev! And it's always been Kiev. And it should always be Kiev. And if you want to pronounce it the way they apparently pronounce it, it's not even Kyiv. It's Kyiv. 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 Nobody's going to say it that way. Just say Kiev, because we always have.
Thank you.
Has Has that changed like in the last fortnight or so? I don't recall with the change.
Hey, as long as we're talking about world capitals, could you just remind us what the capital of a certain South American country is that starts with the letter N?
Naples?
Naples, yeah.
Naples, in the Latin American country.
Nicaragua.
Manawa, Nicaragua.
Thank you.
Manawa, Nicaragua.
See, that's the only time.
That's the only time that it's acceptable.
You're allowed to say it how they say it.
Right.
Okay.
Yes.
I will say, listening to that Joe Biden phone call, though, that, hey, boy, what a difference in how he sounds.
Oh, no kidding. Yeah, he sounds like he's with it, right?
Yes, he does.
He knows what he's talking about. He's fluid in talking about it, and you can tell that he's got his faculties with him.
Yeah.
That does not seem to be the case anymore.
Oh, it does not.
But pretty interesting that there's the phone call, and you talk about a quid pro quo. By the way, you did what I told you to do, and so now you may have your money. Whoa! So
I'm still going to make you dance around for it because I can't get to your city.
Because I can't get to Kyiv right now.
So you tell me, how you want me to send it to you. You want me to send you small bills or big bills or whatever, but we'll give it to you. We'll give it to you.
It's despicable.
Yeah.
Despicable.
I just tweeted at the @Biden insult bot on Twitter, and waiting for a response because apparently, if you ask a question of the Biden insult bot, that it will answer.
He'll insult you.
He'll insult you back. Like here's some
hey fat.
Right. So here's some previous responses to some questions. Go hike the pike, you butterfingered nickel slot. Shut your beak, you scumble-brained hippie armpit. Let's see.
All right.
No one's digging into that pot pie, you tomato-stewed hound dog. So I'm on standby waiting to see if he
But no look fat as of now.
Oh, here we go. I just asked him. I said, what was your phone call to Ukraine all about, Biden insult bot? He said, you're 2 bits shy of a silver dollar, you potato-peeling cakewalker. So there I am.
All right.
I'm a potato-peeling cakewalker. That's @Biden insult bot if you'd like to check that out for yourself. Fun stuff.
Okay, 888-900-3393. Also at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. Putin on a Ritz tweets, you guys seem to be surprised by this lessening of solar flares on the sun. We were talking about that yesterday. And a little bit today during Chewing the Fat, if I'm not mistaken. Big Joe Bastardi was on Glenn's program like 2 years ago saying this would happen and that earthquakes and volcanic activity would increase because of it.
Yeah, so we're not questioning solar flare activity going down and all that stuff.
No,
we're
I
trying to
believe
figure
that.
out the connection to volcanoes.
Right.
Doesn't make any sense.
Right.
So we did some research. Some people tagged us on some articles. And
we did find this article, the strange connection between volcano eruptions, freezing cold weather, and sunspots.
Makes it so clear now.
Okay, so how could what happens on the surface of the sun, 92 million miles away from us, cause volcanic eruptions? An article in the Journal of Geophysical Research sought to investigate.
Okay.
Research found a correlation between the sun and volcanoes and believes solar flares are to blame or the lack thereof. So either solar flares are doing it or the fact that there aren't enough solar flares are doing it.
Okay, well, surely they made it clearer after that declaration.
Solar flares smack the Earth's atmosphere with such force that they disrupt the normal wind circulation patterns. This disturbance in the atmospheric ocean jarringly alters the Earth's spin, which in turn triggers a series of small earthquakes, thereby allowing the pent-up stresses to be released in less cataclysmic events.
No.
What?
No.
No. That is not what happens.
No, and that's even... No, because
It makes sense.
We have no solar activity, so therefore we can't even start this butterfly effect. This is the dumbest thing. No way.
Earthquake-prone areas that experience severe low-pressure systems experience a similar phenomenon when a storm rolls in and the atmospheric pressure drops. It allows the region to rise up slightly, releasing the potential energy in numerous tiny non-destructive tremors.
No.
Duh.
This is...
Duh. Like, if I've told you this once, I've told you it once.
This is stupid.
March 20th, 2017... had solar observatories looking at a sun that was displaying no sunspots. Less than 5 months later, 2 Indonesian volcanoes began acting up. Well, wait. You just explained how solar flares cause it. Now you're saying no solar flares cause it.
Plus, it happened just like that within 5 months.
Right. It's such a connection there. Right after the premise of
That's dumb.
of where they said maybe it is and maybe it's not. So clearly it's the same climate change people that are writing this stuff. That is.
But that was my
ridiculous.
point in the story, right? We had the Dalton minimum or the wet bulb temperatures. Which is it?
Right.
They want it both ways.
They don't know.
By the way, wet bulb temperatures where it's over 100 and really humid, that's just Texas. That's called Texas. We lived through that every day from about March till December. So
we've been pretty lucky this year, but it's starting
it's starting to get hot,
make
though.
the turn right now.
Yeah.
Wet bulb temperatures are used by meteorologists to measure the heat humidity effect, also known as the heat index. Okay? When the wet bulb temperature reaches 32 degrees Celsius, well, come on, that's not cold. That's not hot. 32 is cold. You're not going to ever convince me that 32 is hot. It just isn't. It's the equivalent of 132 degrees Fahrenheit. What? No. The peak of 35 degrees is seen roughly as 160 degrees Fahrenheit.
Right. And now we can't live, right? At 160 we
they say that's probably the place where you start to die at 160.
Right.
According to this meteorologist, it's hard to exaggerate the effects of anything that gets into the 30s. These measurements imply that some areas of Earth are much closer than expected to attaining sustainable, intolerable heat.
I can't.
Or, living in Houston, Texas.
There you go.
Or Dallas, to a lesser extent.
Is that one of your sites, Jeffy? Wetbulb.com?
It is now.
All right, 888-900-3393. Let me show you something that is just abhorrent. For some reason, there are now roasted sea salt seaweed chips that you can apparently purchase for some reason.
Thank you, Whistleberry W, for sending this, making us aware of roasted seaweed.
And what's great about these?
Yeah, what about it?
There's no cooking required.
Okay.
They'll go directly from the bag to the garbage can with minimal effort.
That sounds very similar to something else that
does.
Well, my secret recipe for kale.
Oh, that's right.
You can check that out on YouTube.
Yeah, you prepared it for us here at the Blaze Kitchen, youtube.com.
Fantastic, wouldn't it?
Pat Gray.
youtube.com/Pat Gray.
Have you ever had seaweed?
No, I have not.
My first wife really liked it, and it was not good. It was not good at all. And notice I say first wife.
I was going to say, that's probably what was in the divorce papers.
May I also draw a correlation between eating seaweed and the fact that your first wife is no longer with us?
That's correct.
Yes.
That's correct.
So,
I didn't even like it. I tried it.
Like the sunspots, this is a direct correlation between seaweed and death. Am I right?
It is. There is no direct correlation with kale, though. What if that's the cure? What if they told us today? I was thinking about this. What if they told us today some of the things that we just despise is the cure to COVID?
Then I'd be dead from the COVID.
Right.
Give me the
COVID.
Give
me the COVID. You remember when McDonald's, 20 years ago, they had like a seaweed burger or something? Remember
yes.
That?
Well,
yeah.
The carrageenan or something was supposedly in part seaweed.
Huh.
And that's where people had, wait, I'm not eating meat. I'm eating a seaweed product.
It's supposed to be good for you. And maybe it is if it's ready to eat in a bag off the shelf with I don't know, maybe a little milk. Maybe it'll be worthy, but I don't know. I doubt it.
So it just needs milk, huh?
Yeah, I mean, of course. Most things. I doubt the seaweed is true, but most things are always better with milk.
You could dip seaweed in chocolate, and that wouldn't save it.
I think I disagree with that.
This is one of the reasons that I have Field of Greens in my house and enjoy it every day. Field of Greens from Brickhouse Nutrition. Every scoop of Field of Greens has a full serving of real USDA-certified organic fruits and vegetables, so you don't have to eat garbage like roasted seaweed. So nasty. Plus, a diet of fruits and vegetables can reduce your risk of heart disease, hypertension, stroke, even cancer. Plus, Field of Greens is pre- and probiotic. It's a great source of vitamins and fiber, all kinds of nutrients. Just put 1 scoop into a glass of water, stir it up, drink it, you're all set. Right now, save 15% off your first order when you use the offer code PAT at BrickHousePat.com. If you subscribe while you're there, you'll save an extra 10% every single month. So turn your body into a brick house with Field of Greens at BrickHousePat.com. 888-933-93. Amy What's-Her-Face tweets, man, Pat took the news about Pier 1 pretty hard. So sorry. You smart aleck. It hit me where I live, and I practically do live at Pier 1.
Do you really?
Pier 1 Imports is just, I'm always there buying, some really cool knick-knack.
Is it fair to call you Mr. Pier 1?
Oh, almost. I'm at Pier 1 almost as much as I'm on Twitter, but not quite.
I got to do the math on that one.
Yeah. Well, I think I've been to Pier 1 once. So it does mean a lot to me. It really does. Actually, I'm just surprised at all these major businesses that have been around forever that are all going out of business now. Penny's, JCPenney going out of business, or at least going bankrupt.
Yeah.
But they had their problems before.
Yeah.
It might have been exacerbated by the last couple of months, but it wasn't caused by it.
Yeah, I think a lot of these companies, the pandemic just proved that they, there's no way they can hold on. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, they were barely hanging on as it was.
You know what they need is the government to prop them up.
Oh,
That's what they need.
Thank you.
Yeah. Why aren't we sending JCPenney a few $1 billion? A few billion to Pier 1. I mean, what are we doing here? The Seattle City Council is trying to get the state of Washington to create a $100 million relief fund for illegal immigrants. So if we can support the people who are illegally here and shouldn't be here, the least we can do is support Pier 1 and JCPenney. Am I right? Who's with me on that? Come on.
Just when you think a crisis might put some things into perspective.
Yeah, we get this.
For those that are running the governments. Nope.
How pissed would you be
if
you're a taxpayer in Washington? Well, these are probably going to be federal funds anyway, so we should all be pissed off about this.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. No.
Is there nothing in the surely the $3.5 trillion House bill that passed?
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure there's plenty in there for illegals.
And I thought illegals were too afraid to come out of the shadows like this. Mm-hmm. Instead, they came out of the shadows so strongly applying for this $100 million fund that it crashed the website. So, this is just, it's insanity. It's just
we just
insane.
had that's Seattle. LA just had I just talked about the judge who declared they have to move the homeless people to someplace healthier and safer because they're setting up their shelters along some of the highways and the on-ramps, and they're forcing LA to move them someplace safer and healthier. They're homeless people. What are we doing?
Yeah.
I don't want them to be homeless either, but I don't want to have to pay for them to move. They can pay for me to move. How about that? Let's set up a fund for me to move.
I don't know. We're so upside down. We're so upside down, inside out, and backward that it's got me speechless. Frankly, I don't know. I don't even know where to go with it anymore. It's so absurd. How do you even talk about it? There were some angry Americans yesterday. Remember the day before we showed you how gracious and cool the cops were at that gym in New Jersey? Things turned out a little bit differently yesterday because they had some state troopers there in Jersey, not the local guys. And so one of the men that was at the gym came out of the gym. They asked him what his name was, and he wouldn't tell them. So here's what happened. So it was really quiet, I guess.
It was very quiet.
Very quiet.
It's really interesting how
Nobody was saying
everyone
anything.
Was
actually.
on their best behavior.
Yeah.
You don't get that often.
No, I thought it was going to be a kind of a noisy event.
You
But
thought it was gonna-
nobody made a peep. You could hear a pin drop.
Yeah, I heard that. So this is one of those this isn't one of those talkie pictures. This is
No.
All right, we'll see if we can work that kink out. Because it's pretty cool how the people were with him and yelling at the cops that this is unacceptable and not American. Stop arresting people because they don't tell you your name. I can't take it. 888-900-3393. 888-900-3393. And at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. Say you have a Trump tweet?
Yeah, Jeffy just sent this to me.
here?
Let's see. This is
Well, he was responding to Lou Dobbs. Lou
Okay.
Dobbs was, talking to what's his face, Roger Stone, and Stone was saying that he would never testify against Trump for false testimony, which he's claiming they wanted him to do.
read the last line from his tweet there.
The last line is, and guys like low-rating psycho Joe Scarborough are allowed to walk the streets. Open cold case.
So he's still peddling the Scarborough murdered his intern when he was a congressman thing.
Awesome.
Jeez. That is amazing.
Sure is. It sure is.
Here's a little battle. Those two do not like each other anymore.
know.
And when you go back to the beginning of the campaign, they were practically in love. I mean, does anybody remember that one interview where they played some of the behind-the-scenes stuff?
Yeah.
And they're like, what question do you want us to ask you next? Where should we go next? What do you want to talk about? I mean, it was that softball.
That was all positive.
I think they wanted him as the nominee, right? I mean,
They did, yeah.
And remember, there was that press conference, and it didn't get a lot of play at the time, but there was a press conference about something, and all the Democrat leaders were standing around, and they were laughing about they want Trump as the nominee, and they were like, shh, well, you got him. Congratulations. How'd that work out for you, Dims? Anyway.
Oh, but Joe Scarborough is a conservative.
Oh, that's
Keith.
right.
What do you
That's
mean?
right. That's right. My bad.
He's so conservative.
It's hard to
Such
keep
a
up.
Republican.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Still walking the streets.
Guys like Barry Goldwater. 888-900-3393. Also, some new information from the CDC. While touching infected surfaces has always been part of the messaging on how the virus spreads, the CDC now says they've shifted their stance on that. They now say it doesn't spread easily on surfaces.
Wait, what?
Yeah. So initially, it didn't even go human to human, right? And then no, it's the most virulent of all viral things. This will kill you dead in a matter of seconds. I mean, it was just ridiculous how quickly it turned around. And you can catch it easily from surfaces. Now, no, touching infected surfaces does not spread easily.
Supposed to last for some surfaces they were claiming last for days.
Right. Yeah.
17 days, wasn't it? Or was it 17 hours? I don't know.
I mean, some were multiple days on some surfaces, for sure.
Yeah.
And now they're saying, nah, you're fine. Don't worry about it.
The fact is they just don't know. They just don't know. No. And we have gotten so much conflicting information, but we're still supposed to believe everything they say is gospel truth. Well, which gospel truth do we believe?
Right.
Even Fauci. Fauci he's been all over the place. If you remember correctly, on January 21st, this is what Fauci said.
We don't have to worry about this one, right?
Well, obviously you need to take it seriously and do the kinds of things that the CDC and the Department of Homeland Security are doing.
Right.
But this is not a major threat for the people in the United States, and this is not something
not a major threat
that the citizens of the United States right now should be worried about.
Oh,
okay.
Huh. That's interesting. January 21st.
Huh.
And then later on, when he was questioned about taking action sooner.
Do you think lives could have been saved if social distancing, physical distancing, stay-at-home measures had started third week of February instead of mid-March?
I mean, obviously, you could logically say that if you had a process that was ongoing and you started mitigation earlier, you could have saved lives. Yeah. Obviously, no one is going to deny that. But you're right. I mean, obviously, if we had, right from the very beginning, shut everything down, it may have been a little bit different. But there was a lot of pushback about shutting things down back then.
And some of it was coming from me. Let's not forget that part. A lot of the pushback was coming directly from me because I just played something from January 21st where I said we shouldn't worry about it. This is from February 29th, essentially March 1st in any other year.
No, right now, at this moment, there is no need to change anything that you're doing on a day-by-day basis.
Wait, what? Okay.
Wow.
So, what do you believe? Who do you believe?
Which Fauci do you believe?
What do you believe? Yeah, even from the big guy himself. Except for Cardinal Joe Tobin, of course.
Yeah, easy.
But there's nobody bigger in this whole stinking situation than Dr. Anthony Fauci. Well, again, except for Cardinal Joe Tobin.
Thank you.
Okay.
Because he can even make you disregard the U.S. Constitution.
By what authority did you nullify the Bill of Rights?
I called up Cardinal Tobin, Cardinal Joe Tobin in Newark.
Okay. So obviously, I mean, please. I love it.
Fantastic.
All right.
I called up Cardinal Tobin.
Like we're all supposed to say, okay. Well, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. He's the only one in the country that can nullify the U.S. Constitution. So
Go ahead.
I didn't realize Cardinal Tobin was saying that. Okay. Never mind. And we got this tweet from the Steve42. 2020 isn't even half over, and he tweets out this sort of timeline of the things that have happened this year. In January, you might remember, Australia was literally on fire.
Yeah.
Remember that? In February, Kobe Bryant died. In March, COVID-19 is coming to kill us all. In April, the economy tanked, and we found out UFOs are real. In May, giant murder hornets. You are here.
You are here. Okay.
Steve points out here.
So
we are here. So this is where we are right now, the giant murder hornets.
And he's got a list of what's still to come.
Yes.
Okay.
Predicting in June, underground crab people are discovered and they eat humans.
Oh,
would that surprise anybody? No.
We better prepare.
We've just found out how they get into under the earth in Indonesia.
Right, through that CD slot. Right through the CD slot.
Let's go fumigate that hole, huh?
In July, apes with guns on horseback come for the human race.
Wait a minute. That sounds familiar.
In August, Godzilla comes out of the ocean, and he's pissed. He's pissed.
This guy.
September, a zombie outbreak is the result of the COVID-19 vaccine testing. In October, My Little Pony turns out to be real, and they eat humans also.
What? Boy, I didn't see that coming.
Will there still be bronies at that point? Will they still like them? I don't know. We'll see, I guess. So that's October.
Okay.
In November, the second wave of crab people.
Oh, come on. We can't win.
In December, is it Chulu comes out of the ocean, and he's pissed. What is everybody so angry about? Wow. Then January 2021, aliens invade planet Earth.
Oh,
February 2021, the Cleveland Browns win the Super Bowl. Now you've gone too far.
Okay,
Steve.
all this was believable. Now it's
come on.
Off the rails with this list.
I mean, let's not get ridiculous. In March of 2021, so just a little less than a year from now, the rapture.
There we go.
And
the saddest. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
April 2021, Avengers 5 comes out. Avengers 5. I'm looking forward to that.
I will say the saddest thing about that list. No mention of Foreigner in the Rock Hall of Fame.
Of course, because that ain't going to happen.
Hang on, this was a believable list. What are you trying to do? You're trying to go with some fiction here.
I'm sorry.
Right? I mean, between the Browns and Foreigner going into the Hall of Fame, you're just getting ridiculous now.
Yeah.
Now, we found out last year, the guy who was preventing Foreigner from entering or being nominated he's gone now. And maybe last year was just, he still had some influence.
Yes, he did.
I'm kind of hopeful that maybe this year it is.
Isn't he still on the board, though?
No, he was on the board.
No, he still was on the board.
But I think
for
now
this
he's
last pick.
Okay, I thought he was the head. Now he's just on the board. You're saying he's completely gone, huh?
I think he is.
Yeah,
I think he's gone now.
He's out.
Yeah.
All right. Very good.
All right, let me take 60 seconds, tell you about the classic learning tests. The SAT and ACT are often thought of as, just inconvenient tests that students have to give up a Saturday to take a few times in their junior and senior year. But the reality is the SAT and ACT are the two most powerful forces driving curriculum in the U.S. today. Why? Because you've got to have the curriculum so that they can pass the test for their college entrance exams. That's how the College Board controls education in our university system, and they're all progressives. And that's why they've created a really progressive look at especially, for instance, U.S. history. Now, with the classic learning test, the CLT, you don't have that problem. Classic learning test, it's been around for just over 4 years, and it's already been adopted by more than 200 colleges. And nearly every college will now consider CLT scores at least as a supplemental component of an application. The CLT is shorter than the SAT and the ACT, and students now take it from the comfort of their own home through remote proctoring technology. These have to be proctored. Somebody has to be around when you're taking the test, and they can do that now online with you. So the final CLT of the year, the June 20th CLT, is rapidly approaching. With SAT and ACT canceled, the demand for the CLT has been so high that seats for the June 20th CLT are limited. Currently, there's less than 8,000 remaining. So if you know a high schooler or have one yourself, don't miss out. Save your seat and register today. To register for the June 20th CLT college entrance exam, last one of the year, go to cltexam.com. That's cltexam.com. Register now.
Pat Gray.
If your head is about to explode with all the madness that's going on, let's just lighten that load with some stupid animal videos that
right.
Keith is pushing.
Yes, Keith and all the Pat mob.
I don't know how I put an end to this. I've tried, and yet they still keep coming.
No.
They just keep coming.
No.
It's because secretly he likes them, Jeffy.
I do not like them. I don't.
Oh, you're going to like this one.
That. All right, this is guaranteed now. I've been guaranteed that I will like this.
Which is, I'm going to guarantee he's going to just moan through this. But
it's
here we go.
It's the hilarious cat video.
Yeah, he's a soccer goalie.
Hilarious cat video.
Watch this. Let's press play, guys.
Here we go.
Just got to press the play button here on
Since getting a cat, I've learned they will do anything in their power to make your day worse. Yes. Observe.
Here we go. Cats. They're jerks. Oh, nice. Nice save.
No.
Oh, this cat is awesome. Yes.
That cross.
There's the cross. There's a brilliant save. That is world class. All the way through. Oh, what a save. Magnificent save by Van der Sar.
Oh, you can't even fake him out.
That is quite the most remarkable piece of goalkeeping I have ever seen.
Crawley's and VAR. He's made the save on the halfway line.
That's a good stuff right there, man.
CGI.
What do you mean CGI?
CGI.
That was a real cat, and he was doing cool, soccer goalie moves.
Okay.
All right.
And then there was a cat that didn't want to be involved.
Oh, so you
in
got a family,
animal photo.
Yeah, so we got 3 dogs and a cat, and they're posing for a picture. Go ahead and press play on this one. You can see the cat doesn't cooperate, just turns his back to the camera. This is one dog who's in charge, says, all right, come on, you need to behave, you need to
the dog knows how to pick up the cat, too, by the nape of the neck.
Yeah, drag your
that's
butt
cool.
over here, sit down, you're going to smile. Now stay. All right, smile. All right, smile. Now get back here.
And he tries to hold it with his paw.
Smile.
And they get the photo.
It's good stuff.
All right, that's cute.
You liked them both, didn't you?
Oh,
Which one did you like more?
Oh, it's hard to. I can't.
No, let's hear. Was it the soccer
It's
goalie
like picking
cat?
a favorite child. It's just they're too adorable to do that. You know what I mean?
That's why you just don't do it.
Yeah, exactly
Just
right.
don't.
Don't put yourself in a position to have to choose next time.
Then we've got 2019 and 2020 summed up in one video.
Oh no, this poor lady.
Oh, wow.
Oh
Here
no.
it is.
See, look, she thinks she's sly. She avoids 2019, right? Yay,
Whoa.
I'm safe. No,
And
2020.
Tire rebounds and hits her in the head.
But just like Russian dash cam videos, she's
She completely fine.
she's
She didn't even
fine.
feel that.
Right.
Yes, it knocked her down, but she wasn't hurt
Well,
at all.
I think she was acting it up for the hidden camera. Is what was
For the camera that she didn't know was there?
Yeah, she knew.
Oh. Okay.
You sure that wasn't CGI? You sure?
I'm not sure, actually.
Oh,
That's-
stop it.
I know.
Oh, okay.
Highly possible. In fact, probable.
No.
888-900-3393. All right, back to the aggravation because the NFL is considering a really... Have you heard this new proposal from the NFL? They're going to give much higher draft picks to teams that hire black coaches and managers.
Yeah.
Hello? Isn't that discriminatory practice?
It is all sorts of bad. But
I mean,
did they shelve that? I hope. I think they might have shelved that, but go ahead.
Did they?
I think so.
The NFL is what? 70% black with the players. 12.5% of head coaches are minorities. We have what? 14% black population, so we're a little underrepresented, I guess. But if you add black and Hispanic, it's probably about half of where it should be.
Yeah. So,
But they're not going to be happy until there isn't a single white person employed in the NFL.
right. And how would you feel if you get an interview for one of these jobs? I wouldn't take it seriously.
Right.
I would just be like, oh, cool, thanks. I'm glad you can check off your list of minority candidates.
So
you have to
did they
interview.
shelve it?
They shelved the draft
okay.
pick one for now, but they have it so that you now have to interview, I think it's 2 candidates now instead
It's
of
still
the one.
mandatory. They have to be that African Americans and/or minorities have to be part of the interview process, right?
Right. So anyhow,
That's just crazy. I mean,
yes.
wow.
So yeah, they were talking about making it like a 3rd round pick. I mean, you're literally a commodity at that
Wow.
point.
Right.
Haven't we covered that ground? Let's see. So they approved. Yeah. So they have to. Oh my gosh, you would have improved by 6 picks. Between 6 and 10 spots if they had hired a minority candidate for a vacant GM or head coaching opening. I mean,
that's pretty big incentive.
Yeah, and that's
Sure
right
is.
there.
That's also wrong.
I think it is, but all the stories that you read are like, yeah, they got to get this Rooney rule fixed. It's got to be fixed where they have to do more than they're doing right now.
Yeah.
Well, do they though? Are they not hiring the person that they want and think is the most qualified? How many people in the NFL don't want to hire a person because they're black? I just don't think that's happening.
I don't buy that.
That's
either.
not happening.
I don't buy that either.
I mean, we're way beyond that.
Right.
Especially in the world of sports, we're way beyond that.
And why wouldn't the NAACP or similar groups be upset about that?
Yeah, I don't know.
These are minorities being treated, like I said, like commodities.
Like they can't get the job on their own.
Right. Show some respect here.
Pathetic. I hate that. I'm glad they shelved it. At least to their credit, they didn't go along with that stupid idea, but eventually they probably will.
Yeah. Oh,
Yep.
sure.
Eventually they'll be forced into it. Man. That is, if there is a future, because we haven't spent ourselves into oblivion and completely collapsed as a society.
Yeah.
How much have we spent so far this year? Like $870 quadrillion or something to that effect.
Oh, I see. You're rounding down.
I'm rounding down a bit. Yeah. The spending just keeps happening. The House just passed a $3.5 trillion stimulus.
Hopefully the Senate won't, but yeah.
So we'll see if the Senate blocks that or not. Rashida Tlaib, though, do you remember the brilliant idea she had? She's still pushing it. She tweeted out over 80,000 deaths, 1.3 million infected, worst unemployment since the Great Depression. What else are we waiting for?
Oh, what?
Mint the coin already.
No. Hashtag mint the coin. She's still pushing that stupid $1 trillion coin idea?
Yeah, 2 of them. She wants $2 trillion coins.
Let's do. Why don't we do 3? That way we have like a rainy day fund.
Yeah, we should. Yes.
Oh, come on.
In fact, if 3 are good, why aren't 10 even better? Why don't we do 10 trillion in minted coins?
This guy right here. That's why his name's on the show. That's a good idea. Let's do this. Let's get 10 of them.
Thank you.
I can't, man.
It's amazing.
Good for Rashida, though, because once you get a good idea, you want to stick to it.
Yeah.
You don't want to let something go.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
You don't want to let it go.
And not enough people are talking about it yet.
Yeah. And, and this bill that passed the House. By the way, the lone Republican to vote for the $3.5 trillion stimulus that the Democrats pushed with all the incentives for everything. The one Republican was Peter King of New York.
Oh, of course. Of course. Pat Sajak tweeted out, according to my calculations, $3.5 trillion stimulus translates to $10,000 for every American. Think about what sending those checks out would mean to the economy.
Oh, wow.
Of course, Washington wouldn't be able to decide how it's spent, so that ain't going to happen.
That's a fact.
I think Pat Sajak missed his calling.
He's smart,
You know?
and he's funny.
He needs to get into politics. That letter show thing,
yes.
that's not going to go anywhere. What you need to do is run for office, Pat.
There's just no staying power in that dumb show.
That's not going to make
How long are people going to put up with some inane letter-turning show where you're just spelling out words all the time? It's stupid.
Really dumb idea.
Do
Mint
we have
the coin, I say. Mint the coin.
Thank you. Do we have the guy who was arrested at the gym?
Yeah.
We got that ready with the actual sound
it's now a talkie.
So this guy comes out of the gym. Police ask for his name. He doesn't want to give it to him. Why should he?
Right.
Because I went to the gym, now I'm forced into giving law enforcement my name? Why? Why? Show me that law where whenever you come out of a gym, you must give your name to law enforcement agents.
Yeah, so New Jersey State Police sought to make an example of this.
And Ian told us not to show up today because they lied to him. They said they're arresting him right now.
They cuff him.
Look at this in America. Oh. There was that pen drop you talked about earlier.
Yeah.
There he goes.
Crazy. No. Stop it. So the crowd's obviously not.
And he's not resisting at all. I'd like to point
at
out.
all.
He is just going along. Yep.
And he's got a mask on.
Yep.
Seemed to do everything right, except didn't give up his name.
And are we to assume that his name isn't Matt?
That's exactly right. That's what I was thinking. It's like, just read the guy's hat, cops. His name is Matt.
Yeah, but it didn't have his last name on there.
No, it didn't.
Look, Matt, there it is.
Matt.
All right, you guys, you're detectives, right? Figure the rest out.
Maybe.
We're giving you a clue.
Maybe they believed he was lying about his name being Matt. Maybe
that wasn't Matt.
he had a misleading ball cap on. What if that's the kid? Then he deserved prison.
Yeah, maybe his name's. Maybe the cop asked him. He's like, "Yeah, my name's Tony." Oh yeah, I don't know.
I don't think so. Your hat says something else. You're going downtown.
It doesn't. No, that's not you.
That is something else. So people are yelling at him, all manner of things, but among them, this isn't China. That person needs to wake up. Yes, it is.
No doubt.
Yeah, it is. It is China now.
China has literally infected the entire planet, not only with a virus, but with their policies.
Seriously. I mean, look at that. That kind of stuff is happening all too often. Stop it. All right, we'll see you tomorrow.
On that
stay
happy
safe
note.
on that very pleasant note. We will see you tomorrow. Jeffy, one day you're coming back to the studio, right?
Yeah,
one day
I am.
Yeah,
when?
one
day I am.
Give me a date. When?
We'll look forward to that day. That may never actually come.
Pat Gray, only on the Blaze Radio Network.